What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all doing well. So the 1st of August has absolutely started off with a freaking firecracker. And I'm not talking about Maple, the brand new hero of the month, although we will have a look at her, but that's not what this video is about. What I'm talking about is, of course, the Gem Summon Challenge event. Which none of us were expecting. And apparently there was a post on Facebook somewhere. I literally cannot find it on the Empires and Puzzles Facebook page. But I, for one, am probably not that happy, to be fair. In fact, I'm definitely not that happy that they have just decided to do this with less than 24 hours notice. I think there really should be a longer period. Like, I get it from a business standpoint, and it's obviously working. It's obviously making money for Small Giant Games, and pretty quickly. But at what cost? I mean, this is the 5th Gem Summon Challenge that we've had since the end of May 2025. And they've gone up from 10 heroes need to be summoned to 30 heroes, and then back to 20 heroes. And now I think we've kind of settled on 20 heroes. But it's just, we've gone from having a bit of notice, like at least a week's notice, to having no notice at all. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to save up the amount of gems that are needed. And even with offers and stuff like that, you're gonna end up making things really expensive to the point where players won't summon. You can see I've got enough gems in here to be able to do the Gem Summon Challenge, but that's only because I found out about it about an hour before the Valhalla closed, and then I was able to get a little bit of gems from the small offers there, because obviously you don't want to be spending ridiculous amounts to get the gems up. But now that I'm having a closer look at this, I think there's a few questions going through my mind as to why I'm not really sure about this one. So, I mean, number one, there's a few things you got to think about. Number one is, will the heroes that are available in here enhance your roster? I think that's probably the most important one. Number two is going to be the meta and how it's changing at the moment. So you want to look at whether these heroes are going to be impactful in wars and raids, because I mean, that's pretty much the primary reason why you're going to be looking at summoning in the Gem Summon Challenge. You're not going to be looking at it for heroes in map events. Some of you may be looking at it for heroes against Titans, but probably less that are looking for it for that reason, except for maybe at the top alliances and things like that. But for the majority of us, I think it's going to be about the wars and what we're used to facing in the wars. So the meta is kind of important, and there are different metas depending on where you're playing, but there are some prevalent heroes that are part of the meta at the moment, which you need to be thinking about when you are looking for heroes. And then number three, what are the overall odds of you getting something great? Now, I believe that should be a massive factor, and it should be for 20 pulls with gems. I mean, the 6,000 gems, you should be looking at the odds of getting something great, not just getting something good that's potentially going to be outdated within 6 months' time, but something that's going to have longevity in your roster. So that's a massive factor to consider. And then, of course, the fourth one, and also very important, is, do you need any of the other heroes from the available summon portals? Like, you've got the Super Elemental Summon, which is open at the moment, featuring Gluesma, who's absolutely awesome, but the odds to get him are 0.5%. More than likely, you will pull a Ice hero. And if your roster's stacked with Ice heroes and you don't need more Ice heroes, then why are you going to be summoning in here? I mean, you're probably just going to be doing it because it's a relatively cheap summon. Your other choice is that you go expensive and then you go for this kind of a portal. And you've got Insanity heroes in here, which are not everybody's cup of tea, to be fair. And if they're not yours, then why the heck are you pulling for 3,900 gems for a 10 pull? It's one of the most expensive portals in the game. And again, the odds are not great. You do get the 3 times bonus draw chance, but again, that might not trigger. It's 1 in every 3. So you're banking on chances there. And then you've got the seasonal summon, where you can actually do summons with tokens or with gems. So, why would you be using gems if you're waiting to use your tokens on the portal? Or why would you just not build up tokens and then see if by the end of the month you can get one of these heroes without having to spend gems on the portal. So at the moment, with what we've got going on and the fact that this is only running for 21 hours left, I'm thinking it's not. Yeah, that's a big contributing factor. Okay, and lastly, the fifth one I will mention is, what other projects do you have that you're working on in your roster at the moment? So, if you've got a bunch of heroes that, 5-star heroes that you're waiting on working on, I think for me, who have I got? Maybe Anfari, maybe Serena, maybe Elaine. I still have to level May up. Like, there's loads of heroes that I could potentially, Yukinen's costume, who's got a buff recently, and then Flip's costume, who I still haven't been able to start because I just have been getting other decent heroes. Currently working on Fafnir, obviously, who's an absolute beast. But my point is, what else have you got, and how much priority are these new heroes that are in the Gem Summon Challenge going to take? Okay, now that's all been said. Let's go back to point number one. Will these heroes enhance your roster, and how much, and for how long? So who do we have in here? You've got Darkfeather. Darkfeather is an absolute beast. Obviously, against Titans, he gives the growth effect to all. He gives that awesome damage that also increases with his growth effect as well. His stats are a bit dated, but I must say I have him and I use him absolutely everywhere. If you don't have Darkfeather, then there may be quite a big temptation to try and pull in here, because he is one of those evergreen heroes that just kind of doesn't go out of style. So I'd put him on if you don't have the list of heroes that would be awesome to get, even though his stats, you can look at it without the max power, it's 941. His stats are very dated, but you're going to be using him more against Titans and things like that, Mythic Titans. You're going to be using him in regular play. You can chuck him in on raid teams as well, but he's not as strong on defense and stuff like that. So if you're looking to beef up your defense, he's probably not the right hero for you. So yeah, he's there. He's pretty much there in terms of what I would say is going to be a worthwhile one if you don't have him. If you do have him though, and you're just going to be getting a dupe, then probably not worth it, to be honest. Grimsteel, another one who's an absolute monster against Titans. Very difficult to deal with if you don't have somebody who counters his growth effect. But there are obviously heroes that can remove growth at the moment, and obviously we'll be seeing more and more of those, so they're becoming more prevalent. He doesn't summon any mega minions, which is probably going to work in his favor, but he does recover a massive amount of health, and he gives a humongous amount of growth to both the attack and defense. So it makes him strong as a tank. I'd say probably around the sort of middle meta. It makes him extremely strong against Titans and Mythic Titans as well. So if that's your thing, then he's definitely worth it. And to be fair, I'd probably put him in the same category as Darkfeather in saying that he would be worthwhile from this as well. So 2 for 2 so far, not too bad. Stats wise, he's actually quite a bit higher. So nearly 1400 on the team power. Personally, what I'm trying to do at the moment is kind of come up with 6 war teams that are over 1300 on the team power with double limit breaks and emblems. At the moment, I'm kind of getting there. These should all be well over. So that's team 1, team 2 will be well over. I'm not saying I'll put these exactly into teams, but hopefully you get my drift. So 3, they're over 1300, and then down here, they sort of drop below. But again, that's also because of the lack of materials. So maybe if there was a gem summon challenge, but for guaranteed alpha ethers, like 5 alpha ethers, I might go for that instead. But yeah, you've got to have the mats to be able to level the heroes. And at the moment, it's just a difficult one to be able to get the mats to second limit break these heroes that you may want to. I think probably a lot of you will share that sentiment. Okay. Anyways, like I'm saying, I'm building up heroes that are over 1300 team power. Want to have at least 6 teams of those. And again, if the heroes that are in here aren't enough, they don't have enough in terms of their stats, they're also not going to be viable from that standpoint. So, right, third hero that we've got in the portal is going to be Scroll Beast. He's pretty good in Rush. 365% damage to all and gives negative 400 attack. So he kind of cripples the enemy, but there's a lot that can remove Wither. He summons the Mega Minion, but again, you've got massive counters for Mega Minions in the meta at the moment. Like the Moth Heroes are just one of them. You've got the Astral Dwarves, where the Mega Minions do absolutely nothing to them anymore. You've got the Fawns, pretty much nothing. The Magic Carpet family heroes. There are so many counters for Mega Minions that, you know, they will be good in certain situations, but where you've got a hero like this who's really more of a rush war specialist, putting up the Mega Minion is pretty much just going to be a detriment. And you've got more of those heroes coming in the Harvest Summon, I believe, as well. So yeah, it's really difficult to justify somebody like this, even though his stats are pretty relevant. He is running at slow speed. I'm not going to put him in the category of heroes that I think would be worth getting, you know. So if I got him, I wouldn't be particularly excited about it. Personally, I've already got Dark Feathers. So yeah, if I got Grimsteel, I'd be excited. But yeah, for me, it's 1 out of 3. And you have to think about it like that because it's got to be relevant to your specific roster as well. Pepper Flame. She is fast speed. She deals a decent amount of damage to the target nearby. She gives growth, which is handy against Titans to the attack, but it's only to the caster and nearby allies. So you're missing out on that growth effect for the entire team. So somebody like Grimsteel's more effective for that. The defense down is nice. And the removal, where it deals additional damage upon removal, is nice. The only problem is that that effect is kind of going out of style and it's not really as impactful as it was before. You'll still bring her out quite a bit, so in Equalizer Wars and then as part of a red stack as well. But you can see here, even with the double limit breaks and emblems, her team power is at 1316. And if you compare her to just, you know, the most recently released hero, you're looking at 1600 team power. So there's already a difference of 300 points between the two. So that means that, to me, by the end of the year, it's going to be a case where you can hardly use her. So yeah, that's kind of sad, but that's where we're at. So let's keep it real. Leaf Whisk. Again, you can see the team power right away. He gives growth to the defense, and then again, he summons a Mega Minion, which is a bit of a... liability at the moment. And then the minion gives immunity to buff to spells. It's really not gonna do that much for you in the long term. So again, he's not one that I would pull for. So yeah, so far, or I would consider being worth dropping the 20 heroes to be able to have a chance at getting. So for me, at the moment, out of this top row, I'd probably be okay with getting Pepper Flame. I'd definitely be all right with getting Grimsteel, like he would be absolutely fine. But really, if I'm honest with myself, which is what this is all about, it's pretty much 1 out of 5 from the top row. So moving on to row 2, you've got Vanya. Again, a slow speed hero, recovers a big amount of health and summons a decent Mega Minion for himself, which safely cleanses the latest cleansable ailment. It's a cool effect. It's a useful effect. They have nice passives where they resist mana reduction and remove wither. However, he is running at slow speed, and the Mega Minion is not quite as impactful as the Sword Guard Mega Minion is, so he struggles there. The health recovery is awesome, but there's not that much else to this hero, to be fair. Like, he's not really throwing it down. When he was first released, he definitely was. His team power is still very relevant, though. So I'll put him, I'll put him up there, but he's still kind of average. And to me, not worth me doing 20 pulls. Next to him, you have Pip. Pip was recently featured on my list of the top 20 nature heroes in the entire game. I believe he, for me, is probably one of the better heroes from this summon. Even though he doesn't summon a Mega Minion, like I said, the Mega Minions are kind of a detriment at the moment. He does run at fast speed. He does get the benefit of the resistance against mana reduction and removal of wither effects. He is of the rogue class, which is cool for him as a defensive hero as well. And the way he deals damage at fast speed is 350 guaranteed to 3 enemies. It's not the target in nearby, so you can always guarantee you get 3 solid hits out of the guy. And then he dishes out bleed damage and increases bleed damage taken by 50% for the following 3 turns, all running at fast speed. So yeah, superb hero, good stats. So you can see there he's nearly up to the 1500 on his team power because he's one of the newer released ones. So yeah, absolute 100% Pip would be a good one to get. As is Dima. He's a massive beast of a hero with a massive beast of a mega minion. And he's really just a solid part of an attacking team, I would say. He's strong on defense as well, obviously, if you don't have too many of the counters against the mega minions. But 400% to the target nearby is a massive snap in the face. The target nearby getting negative defense as well is awesome. And the effect resets if the enemy is healed. So that can potentially last for the whole duration of the battle. And then he gets the Sword Guard, which is the best mega minion. And yeah, I think he made #1 on my Fire Heroes, and that wasn't released too long ago. So yeah, you'd be doing really well if you did get Dimmer. You've got Shimmer Scale next to him, who's pretty similar, just running at fast speed, and the damage is a bit lower, so 300% to the target nearby. He summons the same Mega Minion, and yeah, he's still really good. He doesn't get the additional effect, but he does run at fast speed. He is a great class as well for being on defense. He gets the attack up, so he boosts that up a bit. And his stats, yeah, they're a little bit lower, but still decent at nearly 1400 once you've got the second limit breaks and emblems on him. So yeah, I'll give Shimmer Scale the benefit of the doubt as well. And the last hero that we've got in the line is Theodosius. So Theodosius is a brute of a hero, just absolutely awesome. I really like the effect that he gives and the way that it kind of takes advantage of being a cleanse and a dispel, but it's like a secret one. He deals a boatload of damage, 450% damage to all enemies. And there you see he reduces the duration of status ailments by 3 turns and the duration of buffs by 3 turns. So it's basically a cleanse. If there's less turns than he reduces, they're just going to lose the ailments and the buffs. So it's awesome, the fact that he does what he does. He's great. He runs at slow speed, but he can be used on regular teams as well, and also on defense because he's a cleanser and dispeller and a massive damage dealer as well. He gives increase on his own team's defense as well, so he's good protector, and he gives negative defense to the opposite team. And you can see his team power is absolutely awesome. So what I'm not saying is that there's not great heroes in here. But what I am saying, and we'll go over this again, is that it's a 50% chance. If you had Dark Feather, if you didn't have Dark Feather, sorry, it'll be a 60% chance, because I would say that Dark Feather, Grimsteel, Pip, Dimmer, Shimmer Scale, and Theodosius are all excellent heroes from this bunch. The other 4, though, I think you'd be pretty disappointed. Or if you already have dupes of these heroes, again, you'll probably be pretty disappointed. So, in summary, even though I got my extra gems, I'm not going to be using them. I'm just not going to be using them because, number one, you know, out of principle, I don't like the fact that they've released this literally not even 24 hours before the event goes live. So not giving the majority of players any chance to prepare for this at all. Which I think that there should be at least some chance, and they're not going to lose out that much. It's just honestly give people a bit of a heads up to know what's around the corner. People plan for ages, you know, around where they should farm, around where they should pull. You know, that's the whole point of what we kind of do, is to try and give you guys a heads up. But yeah, having this with absolutely no warning, and you know, such a massive requirement for those who really want the hero, you know, if you give them a little bit of a heads up, at least they can plan. So that's my, you know, one reason. Second reason, obviously I have Dark Feather already, and like I said, at 50% chance to get a hero that I would personally want. You know, it's 50% chance that you won't as well. And this thing is happening pretty much every 2 weeks at the moment. So you just literally do not know what's around the corner. So my advice is going to be, don't sell yourself short. If there's a chance that you know, if you really want one of these guys, or you know that you're going to be able to prep for the next one, which may be in 2 weeks time, or if you feel like that you really do need a new project to work on, then yeah, go for it 100%. And I wish you all the best of luck if you do. But yeah, just buyer beware. That's all I'm trying to say. So I hope that video has been helpful for you guys. I'm hoping to get to the hero of the month as well today. So hopefully I will drop that a bit later. But until then, I wish you guys all the best. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, drop us a comment. Let me know what's going through your mind and who you did pull. Share it with your mother, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.